limit for adult and teen drivers. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you have questions, go ahead and put it in. Drive at the speed that is safe for the conditions on the road. If it's heavy traffic, if it's a lot of bad weather, you got to drive at a speed that is safe and reasonable for the conditions on the road. Many states have something called the basic speed law. What does this mean? You must drive at a speed that's safe and reasonable. If it's snowing or raining, you want to increase your following distance. If it's heavy traffic outside, you want to drive slower to keep more space because it's stop and go traffic. Next, make sure you're aware of the dangers of speeding and aggressive driving. On the way here, a driver had created a road rage situation and was pulled over by the police and arrested. These situations are more common than you think. Whenever you spot an aggressive driver or someone who's road raging, don't make direct eye contact with them. Call the authorities. It's their job to make sure that we're all safe on the road. Next, I need you to talk about my day has been good. How are you? My day's going good. We're doing a live tutorial on general driving. If you have questions, put it in. Thank you for asking. It's important that you know the rules and guidelines on the road. I'm a rule follower. Because I'm a state certified instructor, I have to maintain a really good crispy driving record. And if I don't maintain that crispy good driving record, I simply won't be instructing students because my driver's license endorsement will be taken away. You need to talk about to your adult or to your teen keeping space, taking time. The number one reason why people speed is because they are late. If you're late home, you're going to be speeding home. If you're late to your job, you're going to be speeding to your job. If you're late going to the bank because you need to transfer $7,564.30, you're going to speed to the bank to get there before it closes. And this creates a situation of you running lights, going very fast over the speed limit, and cutting cars. You want to set up time for you to go get gas, maybe go get a cup of coffee, maybe stop home for a moment. Always take your time. Next, let's talk about passengers in the car, particularly younger drivers. You want to always wear your seatbelt. You want to preach to your young driver, and a young driver is anyone who's a first-time driver with less than 10 years of experience. Many of you who are watching this are 18, 19. If you're 18, that's 28. If you're 17, that's 27. If you're 16, that's 26. So it's really important that you learn best practices. You need to be looking at my videos. You need to be looking at your mother drive, your dad drive, your older sister or brother. Anyone who's driving, you need to be watching them, taking notes. Oh, this is how you parallel park. Wow. This is how you do a three-point turnaround. Wow. This is how you merge on the expressway. You need to watch the road. All drivers benefit from paying attention. Next, put down the phone and focus on the number one thing. That's driving. Keep the music down. Don't act too wild in the car. We all love to have fun, but the main goal is safe driving. Speak up. Safety is the number one priority. Let's talk about left-hand turns. Left-hand turns are some of the most dangerous turns. Why? You're turning across traffic. You're turning hand over hand across traffic. You've got to look where you're going. And a lot of beginners overturn the steering wheel. If you overturn the steering wheel, you're going to go in the wrong lane. If you turn too wide, you're going to go in the lane to the right. And that's failure on your road test. So I have some tips and tricks to help you. If you have questions, put them in. Remind yourself, your teen, your adult, to use your blinker. Blinkers are one of the most commonly forgot things that beginners don't use. And on your road test, you'll be marked down if you don't use your blinker. Turn the wheel gently. A lot of beginners crank that wheel really hard. Can you please give me some advice on how to overcome anxiety? I'm getting ready to go over that right now. Number one, gradual exposure. You want to gradually expose yourself to driving. Right now it's rush hour. We're not going to throw you out in rush hour. We're going to start in the neighborhood, making 12 right turns, 12 left turns. Once you feel comfortable, we're going to start doing figure eights around the light poles in a school parking lot, a open parking lot, so you learn how to steer. Then we're going to practice going out of a private drive onto the main road. After we give you gradual exposure, then I'm going to have you making lane changes. Left lane, mirror, turn signal, blind spot, look over your shoulder, get over to the right lane. Once you feel comfortable with that, then I'm gradually going to expose you to going through a roundabout, squeezing your brakes, yielding to traffic. Everyone is a little bit different. I do have a lot of experience driving adults and teens with anxiety. If you have anxiety, you need to be subscribing. You need to be giving this a thumbs up. You need to be watching what I'm doing because this will help you. And I am a servant for all of you to help you. So, gradual exposure is what you need to do. You need to be gradually getting out there. You need to go out during off-peak hours, say after 6:30, 7 p.m., 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Gradually get out there and learn your fundamentals. Work on those hand-over-hand turns. Work on good speed control. Gradually get better, and then as you get better, you will improve. Next, always look left, right, and left. Eye movement is really important. I'm not being afraid of driving as an adult. It's okay whether you're a teen or an adult. The advice I will give you is from real world experience. Driving adults, driving teens who've had dramatic trauma, being in an accident. The things that I talk about are real. And because I'm a state certified driving instructor, I'm going to give you best practice. If you have tremendous anxiety, you might need medical professional who can supply you with some type of medication to calm you down a little bit. But we don't want you so out of it you can't focus on driving. Over the last 3 to 5 years, we do have a lot of adults and teens with anxiety. But I think if you have a good instructor who's patient, who's kind, who's willing to help you learn how to drive, I think you're going to see some gradual success. But you can't put pressure on yourself just to get up and go out and drive to a downtown Detroit, Michigan, drive to a downtown Houston, Texas, drive to a downtown Los Angeles, California, because you will be overwhelmed and you will lock up at the wheel. I keep saying that the lane changing is very scary because a lot of beginners grab the wheel and when they do a mirror check and blind spot check, they turn the wheel. The car veers off the road. What I need you to do is relax the grip on the steering wheel. Also, what I need you to do is subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up because I go live quite a bit. I give you a lot of first person perspective of driving where I show you how to steer, how to turn, how to merge out in traffic, how to come out from a private drive, how to do a 3-point turnaround. Many of those things are very stressful and very difficult. But when you see my videos, whether it's per point of view or we're discussing things in car right now or in the classroom, you're going to learn best practice. And I'm going to help you because I'm in the business of helping others. And when you give, you receive. So you need to go ahead and subscribe because I'm going to give you the best practice where you're seeking a medical professional. You're going to get a driving instructor in the area. And also, I will be starting a support class where we'll set up a monthly subscription. We'll have meetings. We'll set up a link. And then you'll be able to come in with a small group of 10 or 15. And then I can give you best world practice. Okay? You're welcome. I really appreciate that. Let's continue. So left-hand turns are the most dangerous. And if I was driving with you and you had a lot of anxiety, I would show you what to do. I would show you need to go up to the middle of the road. You need to wait for traffic to clear. Then when it's clear, I need you to accelerate and go into the turn and accelerate through. A lot of beginners hit the brake instead of the gas. And that could be scary in itself because you think you're moving and you're not. So I need you to understand about accelerating through your turn. Okay? So, yes, we will set up a Zoom support group. I'm in the process of setting that up. You'll be able to meet me, talk to me. I'm in a way of setting those up now. And then there are a lot of people who want that, and I want to contribute to the greater good of the community. So that's a great question, and that's something I need to do because there's a need out here. And this is why I go live right now. Next, let's talk about choosing a good driving school. For me as an instructor, I'm looking for newer vehicles. I'm looking for a state certified curriculum. I'm looking for instructors who dress nice, who dress professional, because the first impressions are important. If I'm dressed up as a bum, not looking crispy, not looking nice, the car's dirty, the instructors smell nasty, you're like, man, I paid all this money for this bum. You want an instructor who is passionate about driving, who really wants to educate you, who is going to be patient. Good driving schools, you've got to look at the Google reviews. You actually got to go to the driving school. Good instructors and good driving schools will let you come in. Look at the building. Look at the desk. What type of material are you using? How many cars do you have? There are small mom and pop driving schools where there are 2 or 3 cars. They drive about 5,000 to 10,000 kids a year. There are large state-run schools that push 10 to 20,000 students a year. I've driven over 35,000 students in my career so far, and every student is different. You have to really open your heart and remember the goal. They all want to learn how to drive. Some students are horrible at keeping the car in the lane. I've got to turn the wheel. Some students go really slow on the expressway. You got to tell them to speed up. On the other side of it, some students go really fast. I think you want a mixture of older guys and ladies, younger guys and ladies, and an owner who's just passionate about teaching people how to drive. I'm very passionate about teaching people how to drive. And I think from where I am in my career, online classes tend to serve the need. You don't need a physical building. I think after post-COVID, you want to be able to have an online school where we can go on the phone and have a self-help session. We can do a live session. We can do an in-car session. I can do a POV, point of view session, where I show you how to parallel park. I show you how to pass your test. Everyone is a little bit different. You just need to tell me what you need, and you leave comments. And then when you leave comments, I will read those comments and then analyze it and pick out the important information and prepare my next live. And good driving schools are important, and you want to have good clean cars, good curriculum, and instructors who got a good sense of humor, who are knowledgeable, but also very sensitive. And some driving schools will pick you up from the house. Some driving schools will drop you off. Some driving schools will get you to the DMV. Many of you who are over 18, you need something called a temporary instruction permit, which is a TIP. You're going to have to call your Secretary of State in your area. Hey, I'm over 18, I'm 19, I'm 20. What do I need in order to drive? So you have to do the front end leg work, but every driving school is different. Next, let's talk about managing the merge. That's another difficult point also. A lot of beginners go too slow merging on. The speed limit is 70. You're going 35. You're going 40. Way too slow. So I try to tell my students on the ramp, push the gas pedal to the floor. Some push the brake. Some freeze. So you've got to educate them ahead of time and encourage them. I need you to hold that gas pedal. I definitely need help with overcoming anxiety. All you have to do, Jay, is subscribe to the channel. Message me on Instagram. That's Driving with Myles. You'll see it on Instagram. Message me. We'll reach out. We'll set up something, and I can help you. Okay? How do I stop braking so hard? You want to use the ball of your foot. You want to brake. You want to wear thin sole shoes. Crocs are good shoes. Converse are good shoes. You want to have light pedal pressure. A lot of beginners slam the brake, slam the gas, and a lot of drivers' head cars are rear-ended. A lot of first-time drivers get in rear-end collisions because they don't leave enough space. So squeeze the brake, really easy, really smooth. Every car is different. Some cars you got to squeeze a little bit harder. Some cars you barely need to squeeze the brake. Every car is a little bit different. But if you're slamming the brake, start in your neighborhood. Start where you're comfortable. Go into your neighborhood. Practice making those right turns hand over hand. Practice making those left turns hand over hand. Practice going down the block and then stopping. Practice doing some panic stops. Once you get comfortable with learning how to stop, then you will feel safe. Take your time with the process. And if you take your time, you're going to be very successful. That's a great question. I love it. Let's talk about night driving. That's a very scary situation. I had a driver 2 days ago. Literally, he was all over the road. He wasn't all over the road because he couldn't see. He was all over the road because he was driving with one hand at the top, one hand at the bottom. You need to have your hands 9 and 3, 10 and 2, 7 and 5. I know a lot of you say, oh my God, I'm not supposed to hold a wheel like that. It depends on where you live. I'm in the Midwest. Our governing body is the National Highway Safety Transportation. They recommend that a 10 and 2 or 9 and 3 is still effective. AAA, which is also a national organization in my area, says 7 and 5. It's the best way to hold a steering wheel. I'm very tall. I'm in a smaller car. A 10 and 2 might be better for me. It depends on the type of car. It depends on what your mom and dad did. Do they turn hand over hand? Do they let the wheel spin? Do they do hand to hand? Be aware of reduced visibility. You need to clean your windows inside the car. You need to make sure your headlights are clean. Slow down because there's less visibility. Next, there's something called visual acuity. That's your ability to see very clearly. Use your bright headlights when there are no other cars in the area. Don't drive when you're tired. The one thing I've been doing on the weekend, I work 6 hours. I drive 1 to 3. I take a break 4 to 5. I take a break 3 to 4, and then I drive 5 to 7. Then I take another break 5 to 6, and then I drive 7 to 9. I'm able to eat, rest, get out of the car, hydrate, use the bathroom. You can't learn how to drive in one session. Anywhere from 7 to 14 sessions with a certified instructor who's taking you in a downtown area, who's taking you in a suburban area, who's practicing merging at least 10 times, merging on the expressway, accelerating, getting off the expressway, deaccelerating. With an instructor who's going to show you how to parallel park. You line your car up, you turn hand over hand to the right, you back that car up at a 45 angle. You must know how to parallel park. How do you park on a hill? If you're parking downhill, you pull up your park brake. You turn your wheels all the way to the right. If your car slips out of gear, it will roll into the curb. If you're parking uphill, you turn your wheels all the way to the left. You pull up your park brake. These are things you must know. Many of you might not know these things, but because I'm a state certified driving instructor, I have reports, I have PowerPoints, I have PDFs, I have a lot of data. So when you subscribe to me and when I start this subscription service, I can show you crash statistics. I can show you data on the best way to turn the steering wheel. There's more than one way to turn the steering wheel. And I can show you where the danger areas are in your area. Dim your dashboard lights, because if your dashboard lights are really bright, you're going to have eye strain. Next, have your vision checked regularly. As a state certified driving instructor, my vision is checked every 2 years. I have to go through a rigorous physical, background check, eye examination, blood pressure, cholesterol. It's pretty involved. If I fail any of those, I'll be limited to teaching people how to drive. So that's an incentive for me to stay in shape. Make sure your windshield and headlights are clear. That's extremely important. Next, let's talk about anxiety, coping with anxiety. Anxiety is an occasional part of all of our lives. It's a part where you will be dealing with situations, talking in front of people, taking your driving test, at a job interview, starting the new school year. So, what I need you to do is just take a breath, breathe, practice deep breathing. You can't worry about things you can't control. The sessions that I want to work for, go ahead, get on this side a second. All right, come on in.
My bad.
You're okay.
Oh my god, all my stuff's falling out.
It's okay.
But
Go ahead, sit here for a second. I'm just going live, and people are asking me about anxiety. So I'm talking about some of those things. I think anxiety is a part of our lives, and we all go through this. So what I want you to do is take a step back, do research on your topic. Everyone's a little bit different. Next, you may have panic attacks. This is where an extreme emotion comes on. Your heart is pounding. Your hands start sweating. Take a moment and breathe. And what I've learned, I try to make their environment safe and comfortable. I have the air conditioning on. I minimize all stimulation. Example, your little brother, sister is screaming at you, "Don't kill me! Don't kill me!" You tell your mom and dad, "Can you please stop them? They're making me very nervous." You need to take your calmest parent with you when you learn how to drive and when you go into your road test. You need to be patient with yourself because this is a big moment in a lot of people's lives. And I understand that. Also, I understand once you get your license, your life is going to change. You'll be able to go where you want, when you want. We will always love our parents. Our parents will always check in on us because they're supposed to. So, what I want you to do is set a plan and then list the things you want to accomplish. And if you do that, you're going to be extremely successful. I have my client here. We're getting ready to start our drive. I will go live later today. I love the questions. Please subscribe. Look at the videos, my POV, point of view videos, expressway videos, turning, hand over hand, parallel parking. And we will be setting up a live members only session where you can talk to me one on one as a group, and we can really give personal examples. I can help you prepare a plan to get on the road. I want to say thank you. Bye.